Hello, and welcome back to the Jay Talks Today's Relationship Show.
Yes,
All right. So we're gonna do this thing.
Yes, Jay. I'm ready for this one right here.
Topics are always hot on this show.
Yes, they are.
Always.
Yes, they are.
Why I gotta keep saying we got a hot topic today?
I mean, because they are, Jay. We've had some great topics on the show. I mean, honestly. But this one that we're gonna talk about today, I mean, I've been waiting on. I just did not know. And, I have heard people, say this. I mean, it's like a confession. When they say this and they seriously, believe that this is what it is, So we're going to get into this topic. I can't wait.
All right, well, let's get it rolling.
Let's get it rolling.
Let's get this hot thing rolling. All right, here we go. All right, folks, that's tuning in tonight, or even if you're archiving it. This topic, and before I say the topic, let me go ahead and put this also out there. Our call-in number. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
If you tuning in to the live show, call-in number is 931-220-7063.
Yes.
931-220-7063. All right. So we want to hear what you have to say. You can always post your comments on any of the media, social medias that we're on,
right?
Or even on our blogs, on our website, which is Jay Talks Today's Relationship Show. Okay, so let's get it on. I gave all my preliminaries.
Okay.
It is, what is the need? We're going to put that in big capital letters.
Right.
What is the need that needs fulfilling when you say, I need a woman or I need a man?
What is the need that needs fulfilling when you say that? But before we go off to answer the question, Jay, let's define what the word need really means. Let's define what the word need really means. So when you say you need something, what does that mean? Or like the question you asked, I need a man or I need a woman. But what does the word need really mean? So the word need, I looked it up, Jay.
You looked it up.
You want to know. So the word need means, it says something that is required. Okay, that's one of the definitions. Something that is required. So that means that's something that you have to have without a doubt, a necessity. You have to have it. Okay. Because why? It is essential to you. You have to have it. You have to have it.
Gotta have it. Can't do without it.
You cannot do without it.
Can't make it.
Can't make it.
Can't succeed.
Right. It is essential. That means it is a must-have. You have.
It's a requirement.
It's a requirement. That's it. It's a requirement. You have to have it. Okay, so now, in saying that, what is a necessity? A necessity is something that you have to have. Okay, so as men and women, as human beings, what are some things that we have to have in order for us to maintain, survive, live, or whatever? Let's talk about the necessities of what we have to have. Okay, so now, here go a couple of things. Food.
Oh, gotta eat.
Okay, we have to have food.
Gotta eat.
You gotta eat. We gotta sustain ourselves. Okay, right? Here's a good one.
All right.
Water.
Oh, that go with man cannot live on bread alone.
Okay. Now you know why that's important, and we making light. I mean, but this is serious stuff. I watched the show Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid.
Okay. So now it's about people who are put on different parts of in the world, on the island, on the beach, or whatever, and they have to sustain themselves off the land. Okay. So now one of the most key benefits for human survival, of course, we know is food, but you can go without food for a while, but you can't go without water for a long period of time. It's an essential in order to keep the body functioning like it needs to function. Okay, so that's the second thing, water. Okay, but now I think that this one, clothing, is something that we need, because if you go outside naked, unless you know, you might get arrested for indecent exposure.
Well, they might want to go back to Adam and Eve.
Well, yeah, they might. Okay, what about shelter?
Oh,
Maybe.
Shelter?
Yeah. So, those are necessities. Those are some things that, now, if I'm wrong, I mean, I want you to, is there something else that we need that's a necessity to us? So now, in saying that, the question is, do we need a woman or a man? That's not a necessity to you. That might be something that you want. That may be something that you desire to have, but you do not need them in order to maintain your life.
Well, there's some people dying because they ain't got the folk in their life. I don't know. You sure they don't need it?
I don't know. They, you know. I mean, I've heard people say, Jay,
killing themselves, got some folk in their life,
but I think that's something else. I mean, you know, and I've heard people say, you know, and don't give me. I mean, call in, tell me what you think, viewers. You know, I need you. I need you. I need you. You may want them. They might add something to your life in a different. But need is a harsh word. It's kind of strong, you know. Because if they're not there, then guess what? You still gonna survive. You may not feel like you want to, but you will. Because it's not really not. You love them, okay, but they're not a necessity to your life.
Okay, all right, not a necessity. Well, okay. Now, some people. All right, I got a good hypothetical here.
Okay.
What if somebody they poor, don't have much money, they can't cook, they can't cook, and they were raised up spoiled, not even able to get in the kitchen because they were forbidden to get in the kitchen. Mama took care of everything. Now mama done passed away.
Okay.
They don't know how to cook. Spoiled people.
Yeah.
They don't even attempt to try on things because everything's always, they just used to everything being done for them. Which kind of, kind of says that's a little dangerous.
You ever heard of the term either sink or swim? Either sink or swim.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so where I'm going with this is that in the cases like that, you know, that may have been the case for a person. You know, they might have been spoiled right, never had to do anything. But if that person is not there to do it for you anymore, you either gonna do one or two things, sink or swim. Either you gonna get in there and you're gonna get in the kitchen and you're gonna practice burning up stuff until you get it right, or you gonna starve.
I think you better get it right.
Right.
Especially if you ain't got much money, you buying the stuff.
Stop with
you buying the stuff. Somebody told me I can't even make toast. What do you mean you can't?
Yeah.
I burn it up. Man, how you burn up some toast, some bread? How in the world you burn up some bread? And the only way you can do that is, I'm like, man, you got to be the laziest person to not get up and check on the bread. What you do? You put it in there, then you go take a nap.
But even okay, all right. Honestly, you know, I heard people say that. But okay, let's think about, for the most part, people have a toaster. I guess still have a toaster. I don't know, but Even the toaster times it for you.
They do.
It really does. You put it on a certain setting, and then when the toast gets to that setting you want, it pops it up. You know,
well,
and then you have those that still make it over the stove. You know, I mean, even in that, if you set the flame up too high and you burn, you will learn. I mean, it only takes one time. I'm thinking one time to do something faulty until you get it right. I mean, but the thing about and another example, I don't know. Like last night, I heard the comment that a man made about his wife, and he was saying his wife don't cook. Mm-hmm. She just don't. She don't cook. And the first time she attempted to go in the kitchen and cook something for him, mm-hmm. The grease popped up on her, and she said, "I'm never going in there again." And he said she ain't been in there since then. Right. Okay. Mm. But I mean, but we getting off the fact. But in what we're talking about, the need to have something, or the need to have a person, or I need you. We have to be careful when we say stuff like that. I mean, really. And I've heard it said over the years. People say, "I need him in my life," or "I need her in my life." Do you really? Mm. Do you really? I mean, yes, people can add to your life. Yes, they can add. They can add. I mean, but is that need? I mean, is that really? Can you really say you need them like that? Because if they leave for whatever reason, whether they just walk away or die or whatever, are you still gonna have that void, that need? Are you still gonna have that need for them?
Right. And I guess this subject wasn't brought up because of the real seriousness that we have with teens, not just really even teens. Yeah. Well, statistics is showing that the ratio is rising a lot more in teens mm-hmm. than adults. But we find this problem with adults too. The suicide rate rising because two reasons, especially in teens. Either if it's from bullying, they mm-hmm. don't want to face a bully anymore, or from downfall of relationships mm-hmm. where somebody's not in their life anymore, mm-hmm. and they have become obsessed with mm-hmm. the person mm-hmm. being in their life mm-hmm. that they feel they just can't take it anymore, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. and because this person is no longer there. And they have this quote need, and but the thing of it is, when you ask them, okay, we can explain everything else. Okay, somebody can ask, why do you need to eat? Man, my stomach is growling. I'm feeling faint. Yeah. My body organs are not doing right because it needs some food. Uh-huh. You can explain it, right? Okay, you can. Well, why do you need a shelter? Mm-hmm. Man, I'm tired of getting rained on. I'm tired,
It's cold outside.
Yeah, it's cold outside. Man, yeah. I could freeze to death mm-hmm. out there. Mm-hmm. Depending on where you're living.
Right. Yeah.
Or burn up to death. So yeah, we can explain actual needs, but mm-hmm. when it comes down to a relationship, and when folks be saying, "I need this person," I need.
Well, why do you
need them?
Yeah.
You really don't get. You really don't get. Yeah, I just need. You don't. I just need them. I don't know why. I just need them. I need to have them. You just really don't get a solid explanation.
Yeah.
So what that tends to tell me is that we set up people in our tend to set up people in our lives, and we make them monuments, and we make them monuments, and then we begin to worship the monument. And because if you was to go and see a person, let's say somebody go to any one of these monuments like the Statue of Liberty, Abraham Lincoln. I'm just saying monuments. Any kind of, just pick any monument that's out there. And if you saw a person going to one of those monuments, just always, like, I just got to go to this monument, and and give attention and give praise or give I just have to go there on a regular basis. I just got to go there. Okay. I would ask two questions. First one would be, well, what's the monument doing for you? All right. What is it doing for you? The monument is dead. It's just it's still.
An object.
It's an object. That's good key word.
Yeah.
Object.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is it? Is it cooking your breakfast? Is it Is it doing this? What is this object doing for you? All right, that you just feel you just have to just give all this attention to. Okay. Second thing I would ask would be, if you can't explain, which most likely won't be able to explain so much for the object. If you can't explain what the object is doing for you, then my second question would be, well, why is it so important for you to come give attention to the object that at the moment you can't explain is doing anything for you?
Right. Yeah.
So why is it so important for you to give so much attention and credence and even to the point many times worship and idolizing to an obsession to this object that's not doing anything for you?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna associate that with people.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With people. All right. Because people are also in a slight way considered objects. We sing this song called "Object of My Desire."
Yeah.
Okay. Now we sing the song and want to relate it, but then why do we want to be so preferential? Are people not objects? But you sing the song, you be dancing again, object of my desire. You be singing the song, getting down to it. It's acceptable then. Why can't we use it now? I'm just saying. Okay. So because what definition, what the dictionary really defines that as is hypocritical. Okay. That's what that's what it's in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary.
Okay. So Jay, and you made a good point and see, we have to be careful about even idolizing people, putting people up on a pedestal like that. And there's nothing wrong with honoring your man or your woman, your husband. It's nothing wrong with that, but it's always a fine line between honoring and idolizing, and you have to be careful of that. So I think when people say, and they're saying it so adamantly, I need you, as to say, if you're not here in my life, I won't survive. And you made a comment, Jay, as to say, earlier, and there has been some cases, where people have, taken their lives because their man or their woman walked out of their life, walked out on them, and they felt that they had nothing else to live for. I need you, and if you leave, I can't live. That's what you're saying. And you have to be careful when you say that thing, even in jest. Because, and you tell yourself, it's like anything else. If you tell yourself something long enough, you will start to believe it. So you start saying, I need you, baby. I need you. I need you. I need you. Then you will get to a point to where you do become dependent. That's the word I'm looking for. Dependent on that person to fulfill you. Okay?
Right.
You get that? To fulfill you. You're dependent on them to fulfill you, to give you joy, laughter, love, all that. If they don't do it, then you feel like there's no you. And you have to be careful of that when you say that. It's nothing wrong. Like I said, and I'll say it again. It's nothing wrong with honoring your mate. You know, letting them know how much it's nothing wrong with that. But because what you're saying is that you need them, and what you're saying is that if they leave today for whatever reason, you won't be able to make it.
Right. You won't be able to make it. Right. And I tell you that I like this this play by David Talbot. It's What Goes Around Come Around. Really good. Now, and just to give a little storyline on it, is that, and I probably could have gave a preview of it, on a video preview, but it just popped in my head. It was that if the guy had his own apartment, he wasn't working. His girlfriend moved in with him, but she had been paying the rent and everything, and the bills and utilities for a whole year.
Right.
And during this whole time, he had been cheating on her for a long time. Okay. He pretended like he was looking for a job, but as soon as she got out, he got out of her sight. he wasn't looking for no job. He was just playing her. So, came down to it, she finally caught him in the act. Okay, finally caught him in the act, and she was coming up against him, and homeboy found a psychological way to twist this thing around, and started having her. I mean,
thinking she was at fault.
She was at fault. It's your fault that I'm like this because you spoiled me, and you've been paying the rent. You tell me just relax, and you go out and everything else, and you leave me here all alone. So what do you think it was going to happen, right? But he got her. He twisted the thing around, got her feeling bad about it, and then he was like, then he closed his role by saying, you know what, I'm sick of this, I'm leaving. And then she started begging him, don't go, I need you, don't go. And she was so heartbroken and everything. And he was the one to do it all wrong. All right, he was heartbroken and everything. Because she had left. So when that happened, when she left, a couple of weeks had gone by. She's all in the dump, depressed. Girlfriend came by. She was like, she had been calling him, steadily calling him. Baby, come back, I need you, baby, I love you, come back. And her girlfriend came over and was like, girl, you need to get out of this. He was the one that was wrong. He was messed up. Why are you chasing after him? I don't know. I just love him. I just couldn't explain it. I just love him. So after her girlfriend finally got her to go out, she wound up meeting somebody who took her mind completely off the guy, and she started finding some worth in herself, and really got off the track that, and that's really what happens. When the more you start putting the quote need on somebody else, you're putting your values of who you are in their hands.
Right. Yeah.
And your abilities in your hand. Because sometimes people say, I go to some men. Man, I need me a woman up in here. Somebody could keep the house clean, cook for me and everything. And the first thing comes to my mind, and I'm sure it comes to women's mind. Why can't you clean up? You got 2 working feet,
Right.
2 hands.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Right. That's
and the
right.
first day say, "Oh, that's a woman's job." No, this is your house. You know, this is how you wanna roll, like, you know,
Right.
junky and nasty like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And so, it's not that the man didn't have ability.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
it's because they choose not to.
And that's the truth, because they choose not to. And Jay, and I think what we need to do is that we're talking about need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the need. I need. See, that's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's a need. It's a difference between needing something,
Mm-hmm.
because we already established at the beginning of the show what our needs, the things that we need to sustain us,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to wanting something. You can want it. Now that's a different
Mm-hmm.
a different label.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different need, and want is different.
Right.
Okay. Now you can want them to be in your life because they, bring whatever they bring to your life.
Mm-hmm.
But to say you need them is something totally different. And like the point you just made about, man, I need to get me a woman so I can get somebody who can come over here and cook and clean. You don't like, and you made the perfect thing. You don't need a woman for that. You can do that yourself. You're capable of doing it. You may want her to be there so she can do it and you don't have to. I mean, but that's going to benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to benefit you. So now, in saying, I need, that's different, Jay. That's different. We need several things, but another human being is not one of them. That's just my perception. I mean, it don't have to be. I mean, you can have, our listeners, you got your own point of view about it. Call in. Tell us what you think.
Mm-hmm. In defining the word want, dictionary defines that as a desire to possess or wish for something.
Mm-hmm.
Not that's not a a necessity.
Right.
That's a preference. That's
Mm-hmm.
like a preference.
Mm-hmm.
I might say I need a car
Mm-hmm.
because I got a chance to get a job that's not on the bus line.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost me too much to take taxis.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in need of a car.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that I can save some money. Because
Mm-hmm.
what's the use of getting the job if I'm spending it all up in tax?
Mm-hmm.
In taxes.
Right.
Okay, so I do need a car.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it is a necessity
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going to try to take this job.
Right.
Okay, now that's a need. But then out of my need, I say, well, because I know I need a car, but I want a Benz.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Or
Mm-hmm.
I want
Mm-hmm.
you start putting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a necessity
For you
to have a Benz
Yes.
or a certain style or type of car.
Right.
What you need is a car,
Yes.
an automobile,
A dependable running vehicle.
All of that is the necessity. And so we start,
Yeah.
I need a car, but I ain't getting nothing but
Yeah,
300
yeah.
or 600.
Yes.
Or
yes.
or a Land Rover.
Mhm.
You start putting down. That is not
Mm.
the style, make. That's preference. That is
Mhm.
not need.
Mm-hmm. That is preference.
And many
right.
times folk get that confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, even when they be saying, I need a man. What I want is a 6'1" man.
Right.
You stand about 4'10". You stand about 4'10" and you want a 6'1". I don't want nothing less than 6 foot.
If that's what she
But
knows,
I need a man. Okay, now let's break this down. What kind of man do you need? Is it that you first of all, you got to break down what is it you need? Explain that. And why do you need a man? Now, if you could explain it, if you can, all right, if you could get past that point, why? And in logically explain, because there's some irrational explanation. I'm saying if you can rationally explain why you need a man or need a woman, that goes in reverse too, or the flip side, should I say? Okay, here's your next point. When you say that, it is you're dealing with a male. If it's a female looking for needing a man, you're dealing with a male. All right, and somebody who has the ability. If you can explain why, that means they need to possess the ability to fulfill the male image of what you're saying you need out of that male image. You hear what I'm saying? All right. I hope y'all hear me. I'm trying to say it a little slow roll, okay? All right. Do you hear the things that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah,
okay. Right. All right. So, all right. The male has to have the ability to fulfill
what you need. Right.
Now, just because you put this high roll saying that they got to be 6 foot and you 4'10", okay, I can take it. I can understand. You may not really want nobody shorter than you. You 4'10", so you don't want 4'9". All right.
That's fine.
At least 4'10" or taller. Okay. But when just remember, the more colorful you make your preference, and not outside of the black and white. Like I say, if it ain't written in black and white, everything legal is in black and white. You hear what I'm saying? I'm trying to use terms to relate to our everyday, conversation. So the more colorful you make your preference, just reconsider, you may be straying more and more away from the what's in the black and white that is actually what is there to fulfill this so-called need that you say you need this male to fulfill. Because 6'1" may not have it. It may come in a package of 5 foot.
Yes.
For the 4'10" lady.
Right. So now, in saying that, Jay, you made the point as to say it, and that's why we have to be specific. Because saying that I want or I need is so general, it's so vague, and so when that man comes and he not what you specifying, then you'll get attitude, you'll get mad. I don't want no short man, But then, okay, now here we go. So you kick him to the curb. Okay, you get this 6 foot, 6'3" or whatever. He like you like it. Because you looking at the out, he like you like. But then he has no substance on the inside. Okay, now you mad. Now, and see, for the most part, what we do is, and I'm just gonna say it, for the most part, what we do, we look at the outside, and the outside is dressed up, and we'll go with it, knowing, he can't hold a conversation for 5 minutes without losing your interest. But you will stay with him, and you will try to make it work, because what? He look good on the outside. The outside is dressed up. So now, but we still talking about when you say you need. Okay. So now, Jay, you made the good point as to say what you want may not come in the package of what you like. And it's not. And I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that keep an open mind. That's the point. Keep an open mind, because we all have a preference as to what we like in a man or a woman. We all have that thing that we like, but keep an open mind.
And I have counseled with men and women, and I have heard this over and over and over. More so women than men, highly more so women than men. Is man, I'm so sick of dating guys and going out with guys. I mean, I'm talking from the females, you know. So sick of them, all of them dogs. And so I would ask, well, what kind of guys you going out with?
Yeah.
Or what kind of guys you trying to, you know, hook up with? And they would tell, oh, they just they don't know how to conversate. They don't know how to treat a woman. You know, they spoiled. They mama boy. They this. You know. And so I was like, okay, so what if that's what you are generally going out with? I said, in dating,
yeah,
or spending some point of relationship with,
right,
then what kind of man was you actually want, you know, really needing? You say you got this need, so give me this explanation, this description. All right, I could tell conversation is one, because you're talking about the other ones that they don't know how to conversate. So evidently you're looking for somebody who can conversate. You're looking for somebody who's not lazy. You're looking for somebody who will work side by side with you, or even in front of you. I mean, but you keep going with the wrong. Then you can take an attitude.
Yeah.
Then you have an attitude.
Right.
And you want to call them all bad and no good and dog.
Yeah.
And real truth, I know that the ratio or the percentage is rising and continuing to rise on the qualified men out there. You know, when I say qualified, those that fit into the perspective of what most women really, truly desire down in their heart or in their mind, I should say.
Right.
And even though they don't act on it or choose those kind of what's really set this list that's in their mind, but what most women, if they really be honest, they want somebody to conversate. They want somebody who can conversate. Okay, besides saying, you know, oh, I just love your body parts. You know, you know, most of that I just love, you know, either your front ones or the back end. Okay, or you got some sexy lips. Or I love your eyes. You know, just talking about your body. And who can talk mostly a conversation without bringing sex up.
Yeah.
A lot of,
yes.
You know, you don't know how much I hear that. You know, it's like, why? I hear that. Why is it that all men that when you get to talking to them, they gotta bring up sex?
Yeah.
And I hear that from all kinds of women.
Right.
Old ones, chubby ones, thick ones, skinny ones, young ones, short ones, tall ones. I've heard it from all, even lesbian ones. I've heard it from all specifications.
Right. Well, you know, Jay, I would like to think that, you know, for the most part, as we start getting older, you know, even if you made those choices, you know, in your younger years or whatever, I like to say in your younger years, as you get older and you mature, you start knowing the you know, the mistakes you made in choosing partners to date or whatever like that, and you start composing and you start realizing, okay, this is what I require for me in my life now, as far as you know, the person that I'm going to date or whatever. Okay, so then you realize that. And you get to a point to where you work toward that, but and I'm hoping that's the case, that you, I mean, be it a man or a woman, you know, that you work toward. Okay, well, then when you meet somebody, you can sort of at that moment or through talking to them or maybe going out, pick up on what type of person they are. And so now, if you know you like somebody that you know you want to be able to have a conversation, you know, with on a grand scale, and you meet somebody and now they're not really a compensator, they not talk, then that's not to say you can't have a relationship or a friendship relationship, but you're not going to choose them as a mate.
Right.
So and whatever that thing is. So now in saying that, it comes a point to where you have to make better decisions. And I'm not saying don't get me wrong, don't call in. You don't know. I mean, when I'm saying better decision as to choosing what's going to be more what's the word I'm looking for? Approvable. Approved, for you in your relationship now. And not to get off our topic, Jay, when we say, we need, I need a man, and like I say, there are some people that are in great relationships, and they complement each other. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a husband or a wife or a mate in your life, saying that you want them in your life at that point, because now we specify that there's a difference between needing and wanting. When you want somebody in your life, that's an option for you, because they complement you. They help you to be a better person, or they add things to your life. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also a fine line between, when you worship them, when you say, I need you, And so in saying that you need, yes, we like to have those people in our life, our man or our woman that adds to us or help us be better people. There's nothing wrong with that. But as much as I love you and want you in my life, I will want you to be here. I don't need you. That might have been a little hard, but no.
I had learned to coming up in my life, and I'm thankful for my father being in my life, and I'm not putting him up above anybody. However, one of the things I'm thankful for is it's actually a couple of things. One, that he always challenged me to know and get it deep down in my mind, in my head, that there's nothing that I couldn't do. He really pushed that in me, and that basically comes from the Bible scripture that we tend to say so much. I can do all things, through Christ who strengthened me. But just plain old moral teaching outside that Bible thing. The one thing I really came to conclusion to appreciate is that was not giving up. Not giving up, and in not giving up, it challenged me more to say, well, I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to do this. Then I start, and then it helped me build confidence, not conceited. It helped me be confident in myself. There's a difference in being confident in yourself
and conceited,
and being conceited.
It is.
When you're conceited, you run around, you just bragging like you got a chip on the shoulder, that you're better than everybody else, and all that. I never lived a life like that, and anybody who knows me knows that. Matter of fact, I was shy. Yeah, I know.
Really, Jay?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Yeah. I was shy.
Wow.
But confident, yes. I was extremely confident in myself, because I really, and even to today, there are things that I haven't done. I never say that I can't or I won't. I may say I may not be doing it now, but if I do choose to do that, you best believe I'll accomplish it somewhere along the line. Might not do it as fast as you might do it, but I'll get there. If I choose to do whatever, I have to first choose to do whatever. But I never will say that I can't or I won't. It's just maybe it's not my choice at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, but in doing that, I grew up with this assurance of myself that I had began to start sharing with those I was dating, to let them know right up front, you know, like basically, and this may sound hard to somebody, but just listen to what I'm saying in the context. I would say to them, you know, like, you know, whether I like them or not, you know, if I like them, you know, I like you and all that, but you need to know this: I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them right up front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want you to feel like I need you, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you why I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you know me
Mm-hmm.
being with you is a choice that I share myself
Right.
with you, not that I need you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would give an explanation. My explanation why I don't need nobody to cook for me. I can
Right.
cook. I don't
Right.
need nobody to clean for me. I have the ability to clean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need anybody. I said to a whole lot of things.
Right.
I said
Yeah.
because I can do that.
Yes.
I have the ability to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't need you.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
because the truth is, what do I really need
Yes.
you for? I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to have a good time by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You know, shucks, I could turn on a comedy movie and laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
I could, you know, I don't need. There's
Right.
nothing I could think of that I actually needed a person for.
I mean, but when
I really couldn't. Now, if I was disabled, you know,
Uh-huh.
paralyzed or something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, okay, I'm in need of a person
Yes.
because I can't do for myself.
Uh-huh.
I don't have the ability anymore.
Right.
But I'm full of ability.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
don't need a person.
Yes.
So I would get it out
Yes.
right off.
That's
There
right.
were some that got really offended.
Uh-huh.
You're going to need somebody in your life for something. I was like, I said, not at the moment. I said, I'm not incapable yet.
Yeah.
When I become incapable, then I'll review that thing and see what my needs are. You know?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But you know, I share that. You know, Jay. I mean, honestly, because I am capable of the things that you. I have, you know, as of yet to this day, have said, you know, that I need you. I not like that. There is only one thing, one person that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I know that I need.
Mhm.
And so we're gonna share. I'm gonna share. That's gonna be my closing remark at the end of the show. One person that I need beyond a shadow. I ain't ashamed to say it. I will say it. I will scream it from the rooftop. And that's gonna be my last and final point. But as to say, I mean, you know, I have people in my life, and I just share that I want, you know, in my life because they help me. In that's something that can be an advantage, you know, to me. But now, you know, like you said, wanting and needing is two different things. And so when I say I want you in my life, I leave the door open as to say, okay, but if you not here, I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm gonna be okay. I want you here, but if you not, I'm gonna be okay with that. But now, if I say I need you and you ain't here, oh, that can be devastating. That can be devastating because now you got to be careful of that thing when you say I need you, I need you, I need you. You got to be careful of it when you're not here. And I didn't condition my mind and everything as to say I need you, and then you go. I mean, you walk away, or not even so much walk away. You pass away. You leave here. You know, and then you afford. Yes, some people. Yes. Yes.
They be like, well, why did you? I mean, they at the grave say, why did you leave me?
Why did you leave me? Yes.
Like they had something to do with it, right? Most people don't.
Yeah.
It's not. Even folk who kill themselves, suicide, even really don't want to kill themselves, but they do it because they're motivated to do it. Because they really prefer. See, that's what makes the clarification that they really don't want to kill themselves, because they prefer to have had a longer life, but they preferred it with somebody else. See, they prefer to have because they have an option. When you really want to die and want to kill yourself, there's no option. There's no other options. Okay, so there's no other preference. It's like, I'm tired of everything. I'm just tired of living, and it's not because of anybody else. I'm just tired of living, I'm
gonna take myself
done.
out.
I'm done. Yeah. So that but those that do suicide over somebody else,
right.
if you ever listen to them, there is an option. They prefer to have a longer life, but it's preferred with somebody else.
Right. With them.
Because
they say this. If you ever leave me, I'm going to kill myself. If you ever leave me, I'm going to kill myself. Really?
Right.
Really?
Right.
Oh, okay. We got to be careful. We have to be careful. By idolizing. And that's what it is. You're idolizing. When you say that you're idolizing, that person, like, if they are not there, you will not go on. You cannot survive.
I just don't get it how people. I know it's in their illogical, irrational mind, but I just don't know how people come to that point where they go to a grave, or they're speaking to themselves. I know someone who's passed on, who's died, and they make that comment: "Why did you have to leave me? Why did you leave me in this mess? It should have been me have gone before you."
Wow.
Maybe that statement might can fly, maybe, but why did you have to leave me? They had a lot of things to do with it. If it's not suicide and they died because of sickness, accident, natural death, anything other than suicide, okay? And you want to blame them? Why did you have to leave me? Come on, folks, really. We have to really get in control of our thoughts.
Concept,
because our thoughts will lead us to a very misleading operation and all that. If we don't get control of our thoughts.
Right.
Because the things that you say to yourself is what's creating who you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's in you. So, folks, it's like this.
Yeah.
You have 4 sections of your brain, and one section that has to do with thoughts. All parts of your brain deal with thoughts, but one part of your brain where thoughts rest. You have 2 areas where thoughts actually are meditated on. But all 4 parts get a passing through of the same thought. But 2 areas meditate on, and we have one part that meditates on it and tries to establish your thoughts. You have one that meditates on it to operate on that thought. Okay? The one that operates on the thought can actually be within yourself. It's a war going on within yourself. That's the greatest. They say the greatest war that's ever fought, or spiritual battle, war that's ever fought, is in your mind. And that is true, because you have sections of your brain warring against each other. And so as a man thinketh, so is he. So he will become. You have to understand that it's so as depending on which part of your brain is conditioned, and really, you have the ability to speak. When it says speak to yourself, you're speaking to that one section of the brain that can that to tell it to back down from the negativity, and the other part of your brain, you know, they you know, it used to tickle me when they on some of these comedy shows, they have the devil on one side and the angel on the other. Well, that's kind of true. You have one that predicates on negativism, and anything that is not progressively towards positivity. Okay, you have another side that empowers you on your positive things. So your positive side needs to be able to speak, to say in a way and with affirmity, to say, hey, I'm taking over. Okay? All right? I'm moving positive thinking, positive. And you have to condition yourself to speak those words, but that comes with a choice. And based upon your choice, if you say, okay, I'm going to start today by thinking positive, speaking positive things, okay? One of those things could be, look, I can do whatever I want to do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm serious. If you really say that, not when somebody trying to come at you and you in an argument and you just throw those words out.
I can do all things.
I can do whatever I want to do. Well, no, didn't make this a daily habit to say. You get up. I mean, it's like school giving you a 500-page, 500 phrase, 500 letters, 500 phrase. You write a phrase 500 times, you know.
Okay.
You know how they used to discipline
you. Make it right,
Okay. So you get up doing the same thing.
Right.
You write those phrases in your mind. You don't have to write it on pencil. It can help. It can help. Yeah. You know, today I'm going to work hard in my mind to achieve knowing I can do whatever I want to do. Whatever I choose to do. I can achieve it.
Right.
And it ain't going to take somebody else to do it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you keep doing that, I guarantee you. You'll find out. Hey, you'll be out there changing engines in the car.
Right.
I'm talking to females right now.
Yes,
well, even guys too.
Yeah.
You know, cause my daughter.
Yes.
My daughter does. She works, and she's a little skinny thing. Out there changing transmission filters and all that. Because what was the spirit that poured into me from my dad, I wound up poured it into her, and built and helping to build her confidence. And she's so confident. I mean, she said she'll say the same thing. Well, Daddy, she'll come to me, Daddy, how do you change a valve gas? I went out there and told her. I said, you got to take these bolts off, this and that. And do this, and then you gotta scrape the old one off. You gotta put it on. And she was like, okay. Next thing I know, she out there doing it.
That right.
Because even though she had never done it before, she got out there, and when she got into a stuck problem, she came to me with, I don't know how to do this part. I told her how to do it.
Right.
I didn't do it for her.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for her. Because now I would have if she had asked me, but she didn't ask me.
Okay.
She didn't ask me.
Yeah.
Which gave me much more pride in her.
Yeah.
Because she went on and did it.
Achieved it herself.
And she found much more pride in her own self. Once she did it, it was like she was just so proud of look at what I can do.
That's right.
And that's the attitude you will have.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's not, and you made the point to say earlier, Jay, the difference between conceited and
confidence.
Conceited and confidence, and that's the confidence of it. And you talked about, and what all it is, Jay, what we're talking about, and what you're talking about, is programming yourself. You're not too old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can, like you said, you can start today programming yourself as to say, you know what, whatever that thing is. I mean, you know what it is. You know what you want to do that you've been telling yourself. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, I want to, but I don't know. Tell yourself that you can. Work toward that. Whatever that positive, you know, whatever that is, work toward that. And so when you talk about when you say you need, which is for me, Jay, on a personal level, no, I don't need. Not like that. The only thing that I know, the only person that I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt that I know I need is I need God. That is the only person that's going to continue to sustain me. I need him. Yeah. I cannot do without him. I cannot live without. I need him. Yeah. I need him. That's who I need.
Right.
Amen. Amen. And he's going to sustain all of those things that it takes in order for me to live. He's going to give me all of those things like we talked about earlier. He's going to make sure I have food with the ability in myself to get those things. But now he's going to provide a way for me to do that. Right. Make sure I have food. To make sure I have the necessities that I need of this life. He's gonna make sure that's done. He's gonna provide that. But in the ability for me to do it for myself.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna close out by just capping on top of that. And you know, just as anybody listening, just as you know, as I was sharing with my daughter, she came to me, asked me what to do about. Never have done it before. It's a whole new world. Yeah. It's, you know, it's challenging. And then I gave her the information, what to do, and how to do it, and how to be successful at it. Yeah. Okay, and then she went to work.
Applied it for her.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Not after I give it to her, then she gonna sit back. Well, I'm waiting for my daddy to go and get on out there and do the work.
Right.
Even though he done told me what to do, I'm gonna wait for him to do it. Good. All right. So. Yeah. All right. I said all that because just as Miss Debbie just said about God, here's how God works. Yeah. A lot like that. Yes. And we tend to pray to God for stuff. Yes. All right. God, I need this. I need to, you know, I need. And then we sit back and we be like, well, God, I'm waiting for you to do this. Yeah. I'm waiting for you to make it happen. No, God has given us a book of instructions how to use your intelligence and how to go about and get things done. You might be praying to God, well, God, I need, you know, to be able to cook. God, how you know, I'm God, I need some cooking done around here. Well, God, here, God. Well, my child, I go to the library if you don't have any at home. Look up some cookbooks that give you instructions how to cook. Follow it in detail. Because there was a lady that kept telling me, I can't cook rice. I messed it up all. I said, do you do it? And you know, I do. I cook. And this is one thing I'm a chef. But actually, and any real cook would tell you, if you do exactly as the instructions on the rice bag says, exactly, okay, your rice will come out right. It will. You put the exact amount by measure. Right. And the first time I was like, I said, it's something you doing. I told her point blank. I said, it's something you doing because you didn't do it according to the instructions. She's like, I'm messing up. Many times, God gives us instructions, and we don't do it according to the instructions. Yes. And we still try. And we first thing, well, God, I tried, but I can't do it. You're gonna have to do this thing. You're gonna have to fix this thing. You're gonna have to make it happen. And God looking at you like, you know, I told you how to do it. You know. Now you might get a little stuck along the way, like my daughter.
Right.
Came back and asked me, "Well, Daddy, I got a little stuck right here. You know, I can't get, you know, like she might say, I can't get this tool. You know any other tricks or any way to get the tool up in here?" And I would tell her, and she go out there. And, okay. Sometimes we do get in a little sticky situations along our effort.
Along our effort, yes.
Right. Along our effort.
Yeah.
And when you might have to go back to God. Well, God, you know, I'm trying, but you know, it's not exactly going. But like, oh, I got some more instructions for you. You know, go over here to this book and this chapter.
Absolutely.
You know, this might help you get
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. The whole Bible is a book of instructions, and it will get you through this life in every endeavor.
I promise you it will.
That you, I tend to say, if you only study just Proverbs,
yeah,
Proverbs will give you everything you need to know. All right. Yeah, even how to choose a man and choose a woman.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Proverbs by itself. All right. So that's all I had to say. You know, defining that need. Come on, folks. All right. I'm still waiting for many folks to give me this explanation.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
So why you need?
Yeah.
Why you need somebody else?
Yeah. What's the need?
What's the need
that needs to be fulfilled?
Yeah.
When you say
I need
you.
Yeah,
I need.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure you don't confuse that with want.
Right.
All right. We out.
Right. I'm gonna need to get off the air.
Yeah. We need to get off the air because our time is up.
Yes.
All right.
Bye bye.
Even if y'all want us to stay on, we need to get off. We out. We gone.